Southwest High School ROTC cadets present the colors. The cadets are directed by Major Gonzalo Casino and Master Sergeant Kelvin Dixon. Please remain standing for the playing of our national anthem by Ms. Sherry Yoder, instrumental music teacher at Southwest High School and Paseo High School.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming.
It is my distinct pleasure to introduce our honored guests who took time out to support our students in this celebration. Thank you. Board members, Ms. Patty Manser, Vice Chair, Ms. Natalie Lewis, Mr. John Fierro. Please stand, please. Joining us from the Superintendent's Cabinet, Dr. Al Tunis, Interim Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Darrell Davis, Assistant Superintendent for School Leadership, Dr. Tanya Gilbert, Executive Director of Student Support, Dr. Larry Gray, Director of Secondary Education, Mr. Thomas Brenneman, Executive Director of Technology. Would you all please stand? Also on stage, I would like to introduce the following members of the administration and instructional staff. Mr. David Velasquez, Senior Counselor, Mrs. Cheryl Van Dyne, Counselor, Mr. Andrew Urban, Senior Sponsor, Mrs. Simone Chambers, Assistant Principal, and myself, Mr. Raymond Harrison. Would you all please stand? And without the guarantee we would not be here. With the Southwest High School staff, please stand. At this time, I would like to introduce Mr. Earl R. Williams, Principal, Southwest High School.
Good evening, parents, family members, teachers, central office staff, alumni, and all of the Southwest High School family. This evening, we've gathered to celebrate a milestone in the lives of children, students, seniors who have completed elementary, middle school, and now high school. Our young men and women have put forth the educational effort to walk across the stage and be celebrated for their accomplishments. For some of our students, this journey has been relatively easy. For others, to be here tonight, they had to overcome disappointment, difficulty, and change. Parents and family members, I bring you a special welcome because you provided the guidance and support for our loved ones, our students. Seniors, you made it. This moment back in September. We talked about us being here today. I am very proud to say that you did make it, and you did make it, and I'm going to be especially proud to shake your hand in a few minutes and say, job well done. Ladies and gentlemen, let us all honor our graduates this evening by listening to their words and also by being polite to ensure that each student's name can be heard and celebrated by the family. Towards the end of the school year, we lost one of our special seniors, Deja Bosby. Her family is here to accept Deja's diploma, and we've left this special empty seat in remembrance of her. Seniors, members, teachers, and administration, I welcome you to graduation 2016. Now, I'd like to introduce Pastor Ricky Rambo of the Sunlight Baptist Church, their choir, the Inspirational choir, with a musical selection. Following, we'll have the words of our senior class president, Wasiba Hanan.
you're going through college, whether you got an internship, you're going straight to work, you're going to go through some things. But you got to know and believe that he is leaning in each and every one of your directions. You got to really believe he's leaning in your direction. Come on, guys, you got to believe this. He's leaning in my direction. When it gets hard for you, just say, he's leaning in your direction. He's leaning in your direction. Are you in that plan and you don't know what to do? He's in your it's your season for grace and favor. This is your season to reap what I have sown.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like for you to welcome our senior class president, Wasiba.
Good evening, honorable guests, teachers, parents, family, friends, and loved ones. Welcome to the 2016 Southwest Early College Campus Graduation Ceremony. It is an honor to stand before you all as the class president to speak to my fellow classmates, friends, family members, and loved ones. My name is Wasiba Hamad, and I am here today to reflect on the last 4 years of our high school experience as a class. Having spent almost half of our lives with each other, it is so sad knowing that it's now time for our paths to part. We have become like a family to one another. Southwest has become our second home. We shared our good times together, like pep rallies, dances in the lunchroom, and finding out our school will be open one more year for us to share this last moment together. Our laughter filled the hallways as we teased the security guards, chatted with friends, and talked with our teacher. There's a memory in every corner. Southwest has become a part of us all, and no matter where we go in our lives, once the Indian, always the Indian. Since attending Southwest, I have had the honor One of those people happened to be a close friend of mine named Deja Bosman. We met in 8th grade English class, and the rest is history. We shared our hopes and dreams with each other. We even planned to go to the same college one day and dorm with each other. Deja was disciplined, selfless, free-spirited, and so much more. She could light up anyone's day with her amazing personality. Deja's life was just beginning. She was going to become something great. We all knew this. However, life has its ways of changing things when we least expect it. On March 22nd, the most distressful news filled the halls of Southwest. Deja was no longer with us. This amazing person was gone. We were shocked and confused, but mostly we were hurt. It felt like the loss of a family member. The loss of Deja impacted the whole school. We grew sad and weak. We even lost motivation for a while. However, that didn't last long. Losing motivation wasn't in the spirit of Southwest. We all grouped together and promised ourselves that we would make it, if not for ourselves, for Deja. Deja loved to see people succeed, and I'm proud to say that if Deja was looking at us now, she'd be proud, because we did it. In memories of Deja, I would like to take this part of my speech and ask for a moment of silence. Thank you. Dear classmates, when I think about high school and all your personalities, I know that it wouldn't be the same if any of you were missing. We have seen each other grow right before our eyes, and I must say we came a long way since 8 years ago. I'd like to thank you all for the amazing friendships and support that you always give. I'm so proud of you guys for overcoming obstacles in your lives and making it to this point here. I hope that you are all successful, but mostly I hope that you are all happy with your lives. I want everyone to know that your past does not define you. Your future belongs to you and you alone, and don't let anyone change that for you. You guys are wonderful, and I wish nothing but the best for all of my classmates. And I want to once again thank you all. It is going to be so weird walking into a classroom and not seeing your faces there. New beginnings suck, but they have to happen for life to go on. I'm going to miss you guys. Thank you for making high school so memorable, and thank you all for being a part of my journey. Of course, high school wouldn't be the same without the teachers, counselors, advisors, and principals. Your dedication, hard work, and tough love doesn't go unrecognized. I cannot express enough gratitude for all the things you have done for us. You are constantly going out your ways for our success. Whether this meant staying after school with us, accepting late work, or understanding that we are indecisive teenagers. You were constantly going out your ways for our success. You pushed us to work harder even when we suffered from senioritis. You're always there for our encouragement when we needed it. There's a saying that states, it takes a special person to be a teacher, and I couldn't agree with that saying anymore. You guys are not ordinary but extraordinary individuals. I thank you. I thank you for your patience. I thank you for your patience, your drive, and your love, and for coming to school every day and teaching us new lessons. All teachers deserve to be recognized, but there are a few that I'd like to thank personally. Thank you, Mr. Velasquez, my guidance counselor. You have always done the job of 1,000 men, and would always look out for my best interests, even if this meant pulling me out of class and discussing my grades when you felt I was falling off track. It is seldom to find people who genuinely care about you and your work progress. Mr. Velasquez, you did that and even more for me. I will never forget the extra steps you took to encourage my academic process. I will forever be grateful for your kindness and your generosity. Thank you, Ms. Boss. For always taking the extra step to make sure that the delivery of your teachings was understood. For answering my millions of questions in class, even if it was off topic. You cared for each and every one of us, and it definitely showed through your teachings. Ms. Steele. I could never mention all these wonderful people without including you. You were one of the most dedicated, hardworking, and caring individuals that I've ever met in my life thus far. As a teacher, you are second to none. First Sergeant Dixon. I can't thank you enough for being there throughout my growth. Although you irritated my life sometimes, I honestly appreciate those hard times you gave me. It made me want to be better, to do better, and to correct myself. You forced me to become more mindful of my actions. Thank you. The lessons you taught me will forever be instilled in the back of my mind. Thank you, Ms. Montier. For helping me out with my FAFSA, college papers, essays, and so much more. You always supported me. If it wasn't for you always looking out for me, I wouldn't have gotten the block scholarship. Your patience and care doesn't go unrecognized. Thank you to our principal, Mr. Williams, for being one of the most dedicated principals Southwest has ever had. You always wanted the best for the staff and students at the school. You were always willing to reason with us because you understood that sometimes as teenagers we make mistakes. Your devotion to our school is very much treasured. I'm sure if our school was open a couple of more years, you would have done phenomenally. Last, but certainly not least, thank you to Mr. Irvin. You came to Southwest and scared the life out of us all. Not only that, you gave us a new perspective of thinking and earning. I know I'm not speaking for myself when I say your class was the most challenging and mind-racing, stressful class I've ever had. You gave us a piece of college and high school. Although you hear us complain, you put even more pressure on us. But thank you for that, because now I feel prepared for college, and I feel prepared for what college has in store for me. Teachers like you, Mr. Irvin, are very much needed in the Kansas City, Missouri public schools. Thank you. Well, I can't talk about giving thanks to all these great people without mentioning my biggest supporters. I want to thank my most honorable and beloved family. Shukran Mama. Ever since preschool, you've always been my #1 supporter and best friend. Whether this meant walking me to the bus stop during cold winter mornings, teaching me my English vocabulary words, even though you yourself barely spoke the language, you took the time to do it because you love me. I can talk about all that you do all day, but that is too much to put into this speech. I love you, my beautiful, sweet mommy. I want to thank my older siblings for keeping me grounded and for being my second set of parents. Amongst my siblings, I want to personally thank my older brother, Sabri. Thank you so much, Sabri, for all that you have done and continue to do for our family, for attending all my parent-teacher conferences from 3rd grade on up, for taking care of me when I was sick, for driving my friends and I to and from school, for attending my concerts, games, and always being there physically, emotionally, and financially. I will forever be in debt to you. My dear big brother, I know you hear me say this all the time, but I really do love you. One last thanks goes to all the parents, teachers, and family and friends sitting in the audience waiting for the graduation ceremony to begin. Thank you for attending. I'd like to introduce you all to our salutatorian, Miss India Williams.
Not only are we the last class, but we are the best class graduating from Southwest. Good evening, everyone. Teachers, staff, family, friends, class of 2016. My name is India Woods, and I'm the Southwest Early College Campus's class of 2016 salutatorian. I am also a part of the Early College Academy at Penn Valley and will graduate with my associate's degree on Thursday. I want to thank everyone that helped me and pushed me to get to this place. Miss Paula, Miss Staff, my family that took me in and helped me through my rough times, Deja, Tiana, Wasiba, Maye, Quay, and anyone else that I did not mention. Thank you. Now, for weeks I've been wondering, what should I say? Like, I came here in 9th grade, and I was here in 10th grade, and then I went to the Early College Academy in 11th and 12th grade, so I haven't been with you guys as much as, you know, you've all been together, but even though I talk to most of you almost every day, this is something different. This isn't just a high school presentation. This is something much bigger. I have to talk about you all. I have to talk about the school closing, and of course, I have to talk about Deja. Therefore, I'm nervous, and I hope I say the right things. Back in 9th grade, I never would have expected to give this speech. When I first came to Southwest, it was the end of 9th grade. I was shy and quiet, and I didn't know very many people. Therefore, most people didn't know who I was until 10th grade. A few people didn't know who I was until 11th grade, and a few people still don't know who I am, but that's okay. And even though I may not know everybody, it is clear to see that Southwest is a family, especially the senior class. Southwest class of 2016, we made it. Think about it. Think about it. 4 years ago, we were freshmen. The years seemed to go by so fast. As the years passed by, we could not wait for it to be senior year. Then senior year came, and we couldn't wait for it to be over. Now, as these last few weeks went by, we realized how much we miss Southwest. First, we measured high school in the classes and hours we spent in school. And now we look back and measure high school in the friendship and memories that we had. Like in 10th grade when we protested for the teachers, or the food fights, or the water balloon fights in 9th grade, or getting new principals, or meeting all the new teachers, when everybody always tried to sneak into the gym, or having all the fun at the basketball games, Josh Nation, seeing Jalen get signed, the cheerleaders rapping on the bus, watching all the teachers try to win, prom, seeing Sean, DeMarcus, and Trey dance, sing freestyles at lunch, At the games, you might have seen me and David dancing on the sideline. And when we all came together when our most beloved classmate passed away. And so many other members. Senior year has been fun, but it has been hard. When we talk about senioritis, it's not a joke. Senioritis is real. It includes being late, constantly tired, and having extreme lack of motivation. People told us this year would be hard, but they also said it would go by fast. But I didn't expect it to be like this. The work was hard, and we wanted to work hard, but we felt like we had been worked out. We had our good days, and we had our struggling days. And when we had our struggling days, we wanted to give up. The days started to come up sooner, or they all started to get together, and at some point, I just forgot what day it was. And on top of all that, we lost our most valued and respected classmate, Deja Bronson. March 21st, as some of you may know, me and Deja, we joked about having a mixtape coming out. So I messaged her. I didn't go to school that day. I had to do some Mizzou stuff. And I messaged her, like, you know, our mixtape is supposed to come out today. And she didn't respond to me. And I was like, okay, well, we'll talk about it tomorrow. It did seem kind of weird that she didn't respond. And then the next day is when we found out, and it crushed me. So what happened to Deja affected the whole school, but more specifically our class. Because for us, it was hard knowing that Deja was so close to prom, so close to both of her graduations, just so close. She is literally at the top of our class. She played every sport. She finally had her dream job at Foot Locker. She had just got a car. She was accepted to multiple schools. She had many scholarships, and it just didn't seem fair. To many of us, Deja is a significant person. She is a sister, a best friend, a cousin, a niece, a friend, a student, a classmate, someone you can trust, someone you can talk to, and someone you love. And to all of us, she was big bro. Many people know how close Deja and I were. She was my big bro, she was my best friend, she was my twin sister, the person I was successful with, the person I struggled with. I saw her every day. Our friendship started with us dancing at homecoming in 10th grade on her birthday. And from that point on, anytime everybody saw us together, we were dancing. I could always be myself with Deja. She was the reason I am who I am, and I mean that with all seriousness. Deja and I were so close to the point that we talked at the same time, accidentally dressed the same, wore our hair the same. We both had the same struggles growing up. She was literally my other half. So after I heard about Deja, I went numb, mad, sad, didn't want to eat, didn't want to sleep, didn't want to do any work. But I realized everything I do from this point on, it has to be for Deja. I also realized if I felt this way, Deja's other best friends, Frankie and Wasiva, had to feel the same. So I commend them for pushing through and making it this far. I also want to commend Ms. Steele for being strong and helping us all through this. When this all happened, all the seniors, they were all in Ms. Steele's room. She was the main person we went to. She helped us through this, and she's still helping me through this. Also, even more, I want to commend Deja's sister, LaKenya. Lately, I have been able to see how strong she is through all this, and I have nothing but respect for her. Can I get another round of applause? Now, today is not a day that we are sad for Deja. Today is a day that we turn up for Deja, we scream for Deja, we dance for Deja, we laugh for Deja, and we celebrate Deja. Some people walked in here thinking they did all this work just for a piece of paper. And if you didn't do all this work for anything else, no, you did it for Deja. In conclusion, class of 2016, we made it. We made it for Deja, we made it for our families, we made it for our school, and we made it for ourselves. It is sad to see a school full of funny, amazing, talented, and smart people close down, but now we can take our experiences from Southwest and use them in our futures. Whatever we do next, we have to do it big, and we have to do something, and we have to do it big. I asked a lot of people, what are they doing after high school? And they look down like it's a bad thing. Like they say, oh, I'm just going to Penn Valley, I'm going to UKC, I'm just going to work. Like whatever you do after this, whatever it is, do it big and take it with your pride. somebody out there not doing anything after school, and you're one step ahead of them. It has been a long journey and a fun 4 years, and I'm glad to have shared it with you all. Thank you.
Good evening. I have the pleasure of introducing your keynote speaker. Mr. Bruce Kriegel grew up in Kansas City, Missouri, and went to Southwest High School. He attended the University of Arizona and graduated in 1972 with a bachelor's degree in business with a focus in marketing. Mr. Kriegel started his business career at Midwest Research Institute in the economics division. After his marriage to a fellow Southwest graduate, Gail Price, in 1975, they started a printing wholesale sportswear distribution business. Mr. Kriegel grew the business to $25 million in sales with over 125 employees before he sold it in 1999. In 2010, he started Mammoth Enterprises, an estate sale and moving business which brought a level of professionalism to a growing industry. With his wife, Gail, Mr. Kriegel has been extremely involved in supporting nonprofit organizations and events in the greater Kansas City community. Some of these include the inaugural Table of Fates celebration, Genesis School, Jazoo and the Kansas City Zoo, the Ad Hoc Group Against Crime, the Boys and Girls Clubs of Greater Kansas City, Midwest Center for Holocaust Education, and Higher Aspirations Mentor Challenge. The Kriegels' 3 children and 5 grandchildren are their pride and joy. They have instilled a commitment to community and family in all of them, and they feel they are their greatest accomplishments. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Bruce Kriegel.
Before I begin, I'm going to take a picture of everybody. Okay, everybody, smile. Okay, smile. Smile. Thank you for the nice introduction. Congratulations to the class of 2016. I never thought I would be walking down the aisle with the principal or being introduced by the vice principal. In my day, when I was called to the principal's and vice principal's office, it wasn't for a good thing. I was in trouble. And when I talked to the vice principal, I was even in more trouble. So it's nice to be able to speak to the graduation class today. As you just heard, I graduated from Southwest High School after being there for 5 years and graduated in 1968. I saw the brochure that was handed out that you have listed the upper 10% of your class. I speak with pride today as being a member of the upper 90% of my class. Things were a little bit different when I was at Southwest High School. First of all, our graduating class consisted of 700 students, and there were 2,500 students in the same building that you all have graduated from. My day began a little bit differently than I think yours did. I was always in a hurry, not a lot of time left. I would arrive at school, run up to the 4th floor, although running wasn't allowed, so I'd have to walk briskly up to the 4th floor where my locker was, undo my locker, put my books away, and then go down to my first class, which was normally on the 1st or 2nd floor. In fact, I remember my French class was in Major Messino's class that I saw that he was in today. So we ran around a lot at school. Now remember, There are 2,500 students all doing the same thing. We had our books. We didn't even have We didn't even have backpacks in those days. We were carrying our books, and if those of the few that carried a briefcase, well, that wasn't cool, so we couldn't do that. So we all just walked around with the arms way out, filled with books. As I was taking my tour of the school, I asked my guide where her locker was. And she said, well, we don't use our lockers much anymore. See, when we go to class, we just take our computer, and we take our computer to each one of the classes. I think things were a little bit different. I noticed that the lockers were exactly the same lockers that I had 50 years ago. You would think they would have made some improvement or some change, but no, they're exactly the same ones. I read where Southwest began in 1927. So if they had a first graduating class, that would mean that you all would be the 98 or the 89th graduating class that comes out of Southwest. Now I know that I keep saying Southwest, and I should say SWEC, but I gotta tell you, I've always called it Southwest. It's always been known as Southwest, and now that you all are graduates of Southwest, you'll know Southwest and the pride that it brings to so many people. There are thousands of graduates that have gone on to greatness, but none greater than your classmate, Deja. I know that when people ask me where I went to school, I'm proud that I went to Southwest. I know that she was proud of her school and her community, and so should you be. I know that the school is being closed at the end of the year, and some say this may be the last commencement speech. Well, I must tell you that I want to be able to say, yeah, I delivered the last commencement speech in the school's history, but I really believe that the school will be opened again someday, and that the torch will be passed on to somebody else. The question that you're all going to receive, and receive over and over again if you haven't already started, will be, okay, what are you going to do now? If you're going on to college, the question will be, what are you going to major in? Now, at 18 or 19, I had no idea what I was going to do. But I was always asked, and the one thing I learned was whatever answer I was going to give, I looked at people straight in the eye when I gave it. With me, it was always asked, are you going to be a lawyer? My father was a lawyer, my grandfather was a lawyer, my brother-in-law was a lawyer, my uncles were lawyers, and then later on in life, my cousins were lawyers, even my son became a lawyer. I wasn't a lawyer. So I had to come up with my 5-second answer. And I said, no, I'm going to be in business. Someone has to be out there working to hire all these lawyers. The truth is, my natural strength was selling. I liked the art of business. Simply put, talking and selling was something that I felt I could be good at. I had confidence in my abilities. You know, it's kind of like selling water. You can buy water at your home just by simply getting it out of your tap. It doesn't cost very much. But how many of us go out and buy a bottle of purified water? It's a great business, and once you're finished with that bottle of water, it's time to drink another one. So I did something that I started with my wife, and we spent 25 years growing a wholesale sportswear distribution business. We figured we would sell the blanks, and other people could be out there printing and embroidering and decorating the t-shirts and the caps and the jackets and the golf shirts and all the different things with all the different logos. on them. And later on in our business, we got into selling towels. That became a large business for us. You know, towels can be used on golf bags. They can be used on bowling. They can be used on all the sports you play. And then they're beach towels that you dry with. And we had a saying that says everybody uses a towel every day. So why not provide them? Now, I tell this story because some of you may remember the Denver defense back in those days, and they were called the Orange Crush. And who provided those t-shirts? We did. We provided them to a printer that was out in Denver. His business was selling as many of the orange t-shirts he could get his hands on, and our business was supplying as many as we could. Later on, we supplied the Atlantic Olympics with our printed beach towels and golf towels. So the business took a lot of turns, and it was a lot easier to sell something that people wanted rather than trying to sell something to them that they didn't need or didn't want. When I was asked to give this commencement speech, deciding on a message came pretty easy to me. Confidence and the belief in your own decision-making abilities was what I wanted to leave you with today. And the main thing that I'm going to talk about is believing in yourself. If you don't believe in you, there aren't many that will. So it has to start with you. Business was with my wife, Gail, who believed in me. Well, maybe not at first, but I suppose that she was always there to support and encourage me. And as soon as she decided to believe in herself, our business succeeded from that point on. We have always tried not to lose focus on our community, and we've surrounded our friends with those who care about people and care about the community in Kansas City. Now, don't get me wrong, there were days and even years that things did not go as successful as other times. We had failures, and many times we lost a little confidence. We weren't sure exactly where we were going short term, but we continued on. There's a saying, if you don't know where you're going, any road will lead you there. I figure if I had specific goals, I could figure a way to get there. Even today, I want to tell you what drives me and makes me tick. I know today I'll arrive at my goal, and you'll know it because I'll leave this podium and go sit down. I'll be done. You'll know. There's simple steps in achieving a goal, and one of them was to get through high school. That you all have achieved. You're done. You made it. If your goal is to lose 5 pounds, that's an easy thing to see when you've gotten there. You just step on the scale, and sometime later you step on it again. If you weigh 5 pounds less, you've made it. I will tell you something that I did notice on my tour through school, and that's why we're not sitting in the auditorium today. I figured a way to finally slide myself into one of the seats. I got to tell you, I couldn't get out of it. I don't know what happened to the seats in the auditorium. Obviously, they've shrunk significantly since I first went there. In time, you're going to be asked to argue with somebody about something that you don't agree with. Let's say it's a $25 charge on your phone bill that you don't think should be there. It's a late charge or whatever it is, you want to discuss it with somebody. Well, the first step in discussing something like that with somebody is finding the right person. So if you want to get to the point that you want to get to, you know what your goal is, and you want to get there, the first thing you have to do is find out if the person you're discussing it with is empowered to give you what you want. If they're not, if they can't give you that $25 credit that you're looking for, there's no reason to spend their time or your time in trying to get it. What you want to say to them, very simply, is, I have a $25 late fee on my bill. Do you have the authority to remove that charge? If the answer is yes, then the discussion begins. If the answer is no, then you need to get yourself to the person that can get you where you want to get to. What's your goal? Now that leads me to failure. And that was important for me to understand, and I think it's important for all of you to understand. In athletics, it's real easy to determine what success and failure is. If you're playing basketball and you win the game, you won. If you lose the game, but play as well as you can, and can learn from the loss, then that'll help you for the conference title, because that's your ultimate goal, is to win that. Losing can point you to where you want to be. Michael Jordan said, and I want to read this to make sure I get it right, I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I failed over and over and over again in my life. And that is why I succeed. And he's concluded with, I am not afraid to fail. Failure in business is not so bad either if you learn from it and learn how to succeed. At your job, if you're driving an older car, you can expect that clunker's going to give out. It's just a matter of time. So it's very important to figure out, if my car doesn't work, how do I get to work? And the call needs to come before you're late. If you were to call and say, it's 8 o'clock, my cars are working, I'm going to take the bus, I'll be in by 8:30. But don't worry, tomorrow I know there's a 7:30 bus and I'm going to be on time. I'm sorry, I'm going to be late today. That person, that boss, that supervisor is going to look at you in a different light. They're going to appreciate what you've done, and you're going to appreciate their feelings towards you. Learning failures, I call them learning experiences. And that's fine if you really learn from them, and don't let failure get you down and down and down. And really use it as a learning experience. Remember, any path will get you to where you want to be, as long as you know where you're going to go. The belief in yourself is critical to success, and you have all the tools to believe in yourself. Your teachers have shown you that they believe in you. You're here, aren't you? Your family are all showing you that they believe in you. I believe in you. You have to make sure that you believe in you. Thank you and congratulations.
Good evening. My name is Elizabeth Mountier, the College Advisor at Southwest. It has been my pleasure to serve at this school under the Missouri am so pleased to announce the successes and achievements of this year's class of 2016. The class of 2016 submitted more than 180 college applications to colleges and universities across the country. In the fall, our students will attend colleges like Missouri State University, Northwest Missouri State University, Lincoln University, Missouri Western State University, North Central Missouri College, Donnelly College, and many more. Due to their dedication and effort, the senior class was awarded $1,318,771. They were awarded scholarships from 100 High School Girls, Second Chance Scholarship, the Block Scholarship, Daniels Fund, and several others. Class of 2016 will go on to become scholar athletes, psychologists, teachers, nurses, lawyers, pharmacists, engineers, chefs, and other skilled workers. Some will also serve as members of the United States Armed Forces. As you can tell, their future is bright. So congratulations, class of 2016. I am very proud of each and every one of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Tunis, will you join me at the podium? On behalf of the administration, faculty, staff, and counselors of Southwest High School, it's my pleasure to present to you the candidates for graduation. They've met all of the state and district requirements to be considered a graduate. Mr. Tunis, do you accept our graduating class of 2016 from Southwest High School?
On the recommendation of the faculty at Southwestern College campus, I have sought the authority of the school board of the Kansas City Public Schools to confer upon each of you a high school diploma with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities. Therefore, as the interim superintendent, I proudly certify that these seniors have met all the requirements as set forth by the Kansas City Public Schools. I hereby declare the class of 2016 to be graduates of Southwest College.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? I want to remind you that this is a wonderful, exciting time for our students, but we want to make sure that as our students come across the stage that we're able to hear each and every name, because this is a celebration for all of us. Ladies and gentlemen, seniors and friends, we present our first graduation diploma to Ms. Deja Bosby. Accepting the diploma for the family is Deja's sister, McKenya.
Jennifer Campos. Salutatorian. Prentice Smith. Talaya Johnson. Tatiana Watkins. Wasiba Hamad. Lucretia Thomas. Christopher Ayers. Akila Banks. Javante Banks. Wanye Grayson. Deanna Bosby. Lamont Bennett. Veronda Booker. Paige Bowles. Barry Boyd. Nyla Marie Grant. L.C. Bates. Katreyu Charleston. Micah Jean Cole. Cameron Davis. Maria De La Rosa. Jalen Gant. Destiny Hayes. Jasmine Lee. Naomi Hill. Diego Jackson. Ronisha James. Courtney Johnny. Jada Lanice Johnson. Laura Medina. Tiana Lee. Rodre Stephen Lewis. Diana Marie Fisher.
Cameron Ann Martin. Matthew.
joining us this evening to commemorate the wonderful achievements by our senior class. Parents, thank you for your support of our children and our school. Let me speak to the graduates, because we may not get a chance to speak again. To our graduates, I pray that God will continue to bless you as you move forward towards what you go